We've got the 2025 Acura MDX.
With some nice updates, finally.
Here we go, Zach. Type S for the win. Oh yeah.
I like this vehicle a lot. If I was an MDX buyer, this is the one I would get. But today, we're not just focusing on the Type S, we're focusing on the MDX generally. Before we get into that, this video is brought to you by Squarespace. If you're looking to make a beautiful new website, we'll tell you about it about halfway through the video. Andrea, what's under the hood of the MDX?
A 3-liter turbo V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 355 horsepower, and 354 pound-feet of torque, standard all-wheel drive.
So that's this more expensive Type S. The regular MDX has a 3.5-liter V6, not turbocharged, 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, standard all-wheel drive. In the United States, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available. All right, we're going to get into the key standard features of just the regular MDX.
The base MDX comes with a 12.3-inch touchscreen and digital driver display, Google and Amazon Alexa built in, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, a 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, 12-way power front seats with lumbar support and 3-position memory, perforated Milano leather seats, heated front and rear seats, a panoramic sunroof, and a hands-free power liftgate. In the US, not all these features are standard, but they are available.
The trackpad's gone, Andrea. We'll tell you more about the updates in just a moment. Right now, what are we going to put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribe. And if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
Make sure to like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's up behind the scenes and to get a question in. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. Well, we kind of teased it already with the trackpad, Andrea. Updates for 2025, what are we working with?
Well, just about the trackpad. I'm not pulling my hair out anymore. It is a much more pleasant driving experience with a touchscreen. The MDX gets tweaks to the exterior with a new front fascia and grille, darker headlamps and tail lamps, and bolder wheel designs. The interior has a redesigned center console and increased storage. Of course, you've got that 12.3-inch touchscreen with Google built in, and a new 19 or 31 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. The Type S model debuts Acurawatch 360, a more advanced driver assistive technology.
And there's a new trim. It's called the Platinum Elite A-Spec in Canada and just A-Spec Advanced in the United States, combining sport appearance and premium features previously exclusive in the Type S model. So you get the Type S look without the Type S go. The Type S model, however, has redesigned front seats with ultra-suede bolsters, redesigned 21-inch wheels, redesigned bumper, and frameless diamond pentagon grille.
Now that is one substantial refresh. You know what? I think it handles extremely well. It's nimble, it's agile, it's athletic. It feels like you're driving a larger sedan rather than an SUV, and I think that is the beauty of the MDX.
Yeah, whether you get the base model 3.5-liter V6 or you get this more potent version, they have real car-like dynamics, and I really like what they've done with the engineering. Yes, this is built off the Honda Pilot, a shared platform, but this is a totally different animal.
And this Type S model has an extra drive mode, Sport Plus, which is obviously very dynamic.
It's more sporty.
It's more sporty, and it also has track-inspired torque vectoring technology as well.
But for me, it's all the stuff you get standard in the Type S, because it's a one and done. You buy it fully loaded and you get Brembo brakes, you get the air suspension, which makes it super comfortable on bumpy roads, super sporty in the sport settings. You also get the dynamic look and of course turbo V6. And for me, this is exactly how I want my SUV to drive.
I know, and we're gonna move this over to the super bumpy section of the road. We're on the highway now.
Put it in, that's comfort.
This is comfort.
This is, wait for it right here. This is the worst bit.
And look at the cabin remains quiet. It's doing a pretty good job eating up these bumps in the road, and they're pretty bad. And now
we're on the smooth bed.
So noise, vibration, and harshness is very good in this vehicle. It's smooth, it's fun. I mean, it's a 7-passenger SUV, a family hauler that's fun to drive.
It's a family hauler that hauls ass, Andrea. That's what it is. Okay, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put it in Sport. I'll even put it in Sport Plus.
Yeah, do Sport Plus.
Okay, when the light goes.
It's like this. It's like giddy up.
All right, here we go. When the light turns green,
hit it. Here we go.
All the way to the floor.
Oh yeah. Ooh, let that 10-speed automatic just shift smoothly. Wow, quick shifting. That feels good. Zach, are you okay over there?
I'm great.
I don't want to look at you, but I feel like you had this face.
I'm making a face. But this is why I like this vehicle. You don't have to do that. You're not going to do that. But when you want to do that, you can do that.
Why not do it?
That's why I like it. So the one we have is the boss-looking Type S, but the same thing. This is the one I would get. I think it's a handsome-looking vehicle, MDX overall. What do you get on the outside? Well,
I'm not crazy about all of the shiny hard plastic outside of this. I actually like the technology model with more chrome that's offered, but it still looks pretty hot. It's a Type S model. I love the quad exhaust pipes on this. The regular MDX gets dual rectangular pipes. The MDX gets 7.3 inches of ground clearance, and the Type S up to 9.4 inches. Comes standard with LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, 20-inch wheels for the MDX model with a temporary spare tire, and this Type S model 21-inch wheels with a tire repair kit.
So the reason why this one has greater ground clearance is because it has the air suspension. You can raise and lower it.
And if you are looking for LED fog lights, they are available. This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Now look at us. Do we look like web experts? We are not. We know how to do video content, but we don't know anything about putting a website together, the layout, and the SEO. And Squarespace makes all of that simple.
Squarespace has easy-to-use tools like a professionally curated layout and style options. You just choose the one that works best for you and your business.
Yeah, everybody's needs are totally different. Whether it's a personal website or a business website, you choose what works for you, and then you get going with the tools that Squarespace offers. It's that simple.
And if you have a commerce site, your customers will have flexible payment options like PayPal and credit cards to start selling.
So head to the link in the description below and make sure you use that link because it's going to get you 10% off your first purchase with Squarespace. So we talked about the outside, and you'd have to kind of know the differences to spot them, but anybody that gets in this vehicle, you're going to notice that all of the changes are right here.
Well, the trackpad is gone, and it's a welcome addition. We needed to get rid of that. It was not so easy to use. Now we've got dual 12.3-inch screens in here, which are standard. I love the touchscreen. Like I said off the top, it just is a much more pleasant driving experience, and the touchscreen is pretty quick.
It's quick. There's a couple of omissions. There's one major one. We're going to talk about it again in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. Is there's no sat radio in this. Might be a deal breaker for some. And this center part here isn't shiny hard plastic, Andrea.
Yeah.
It's matte black with a big phone charger where the trackpad used to be.
Yeah, I do find the screen still sits quite far back on the dash. I mean, it's okay when you've stopped the vehicle. A little bit more challenging when you're actually driving.
Depends on the length of your arms, I think.
In this Type S model, you've got a flat bottom steering wheel. These new seats are really comfortable. There's quite a bit of thigh support. I mean, I can see this vehicle on a long road trip being very comfortable.
Now, we talked recently on one of our Questions, Coffee, and Cars about, is it worth it to get massaging seats? These ones in this Type S anyway are really quite strong. So the massage function is excellent. You know what stinks, Andrea? The heated seats barely get warm. Like, it's just not on to have heated seats that barely work.
Well, I noticed that initially, but after you leave them on for a while, they do heat up. But boy, it takes some time.
But the whole reason why heated seats work or should work well in cold climates is your backside is warm while you're waiting for the engine to warm up. That's the whole reason why they work. If they're going to heat up at the same rate as the engine, what's the point?
What is the point? Now, a few things I don't love in here is the shiny, hard black plastic plastic. I do like the wood trim on the doors. I think that is a nice addition in this Type S model. Storage is really good. The door pockets are wide. You can put a couple water bottles in there. And then also you've got a tray here at the center console, and then you open it up and you've got a full storage unit in here.
And USB connectivity.
Yeah, and one of the most impressive things with this MDX and the Honda Pilot is the fact that you get a bench seat on all trims and you can remove that middle seat. And I think that that is amazing for a 3-row SUV.
And a perfectly flat floor at the back, so kids jumping in and out of this, no problem. I will say the middle of the second row, it's kind of heavy because it needs to be for safety reasons. So if you're a petite person, you might need some help getting it out. You know, average size person, you can wrestle in and out.
I really think the best value trim is the base MDX. It just comes loaded with so many standard features. It's impressive for the price point. And in the US, I would probably go up one from the base model because you don't get all of the standard features that we get in Canada.
What about available features, Andrea? Well, you can get a 360-degree camera, a 10.5-inch head-up display, 16-way power front seats with massage feature, ventilated front seats, quilted leather upholstery, the flat-bottom steering wheel, and a 31-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. Well, we touched on it already. Flat floor, plenty of room when you climb in the second row seats, good leg room, good headroom. The seats slide fore and aft, and they even recline.
Comparing the MDX to the new Lexus TX, the MDX offers 41.6 inches of front row legroom, which is the same as the TX. Second row legroom at 38.5 inches is an inch less than the TX.
Getting into the third row isn't a problem. It's when you actually sit in there, it isn't that big compared to some of the newer, larger vehicles being offered.
Third row legroom for the MDX is 29.1 inches, which is over 4 inches less than the TX.
Lifting up the power lift gate, even with all 3 rows up, there's a good amount of space. What I really like is underneath the floor, there's a very big cargo bin. How does it stack up?
Cargo space behind the third row for the MDX is 18.1 cubic feet. Space behind the second row, 48.4 cubic feet. And overall cargo space is 95 cubic feet. It is a little bit smaller than the TX in all areas.
All right, let's get to your questions on this one.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
What's your opinion on the B&O audio in the MDX? No, the S has 31 speakers. You had high marks for the ZDX audio.
Well, these used to have the ELS before and they've switched, right?
I know, and we liked the ELS, didn't we?
Good, really
So this
good.
actually isn't B&O, it's Bang & Olufsen. So it's the higher grade. What do you think of it?
I really haven't listened to it that much, to be honest with you.
I have. I really like it.
You know me, Andrea, I like my sports talk on AM. Doesn't matter to me.
I know, he always does a sports talk. So I crank my music. I've got my playlist. And I think it's fantastic. This has more speakers than the ZDX or ZDX. There's only one speaker difference with the base model MDX, and then this Type S gets 31 speakers. It's not as good as the Cadillac Escalade AKG.
Doesn't have the speakers in the headrest.
No.
One thing I will say though, and there's no sat radio, and so what I do is I flip between sat radio and my sports talk, and there's no sat radio in this head unit, and that's where I would check it out. If I go on the Spectrum's Mod Jam, Andrea likes Hits 1. Terrible.
I just actually listen to my playlist now because Hits 1 is
so bad.
Terrible. Okay, sharp exterior looks. The red interior is unexpected. It really is bright a red as the pictures on Instagram.
It's quite deep red, but it's not to my taste. I wouldn't choose the red.
It's pretty bright. I think for a test vehicle for a week,
yeah, why not?
Kind of liking it. But long term, do I want to get into this every day? I'm not sure. But it's unique. It's different. And I applaud Acura for doing something other than black. Do you know if it requires premium fuel? I think all Acuras do. Well, if you look at the website, it says that premium fuel is recommended. And guess what? If you want this power output and you want the fuel economy numbers, then you've got to put premium fuel in.
Don't buy a $90,000 car and then email us and say, what, I have to put premium gas in it. Don't be so cheap. You know what, Andrea? Never before have I shot the actual inside of the filler cap.
Yeah.
But I just think it's ironic that you chose that. I didn't know you were going to choose that question. And I shot the inside of the filler cap, which is going to be my new go-to shot now. Does it take premium or regular? And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Simple, beautiful car inside and outside. Even in the pictures, I can see the quality of materials is better than Toyota Lexus. A bit overpriced, I think, and they need a hybrid in their portfolio.
Yeah, there's no hybrid, but they do have the electric ZDX or ZDX. It's kind of hard to position this vehicle, Andrea, because is it luxury or is it premium, and what does it really compete against? I think when you start looking against its general German competitors, it actually offers a lot of value.
Ton of value. I know that in Canada, over $90,500 for an Acura, you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of money, but it comes with so many features.
Loaded, right?
And if you look at something like a BMW X5, for example, the base model starts at 90,000 Canadian now, and then you've got to add extras, and it's not big like this. Like, some people complain about the rear seat in the BMW not offering enough space for car seats. So I know vehicles are getting expensive, and that's across all segments, but when you look at this price point against the competition, there's actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, there's actually good value.
All right, so we'll take the direct competitor, I would say, on the German side is the Audi Q7, and then the base model, you got to add features to get what this has. Is going to be well north of what this costs.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, right now we're going to get into all of the vital stats, like the pricing and more.
Let's start with pricing. In Canada, the pricing includes freight, PDI, and fees. The base model starts at just over $69,500, and the Type S Ultra is just over $90,500. In the US, the first front-wheel drive model is just over $51,000, and the top trim Type S Advance is just over $75,000.
Here's the fuel economy for the base MDX. 12.6 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.4 on the highway. That's 19 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway. For this more powerful Type S, the fuel economy is 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers city, 11.2 on the highway. That's just 17 miles per gallon city, 21 on the highway. Towing capacity for the MDX is 5,000 pounds, and the warranty is 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. In the United States, complimentary maintenance is offered for 2 years, or 24,000 miles. So what we're going to do now is the competition. What else can you choose? We've gone with base MDX, all right? What else can you pick?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Infiniti QX60 with a 3.5-liter V6, 295 horsepower, and a starting price of almost $65,000.
The Lincoln Aviator with a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, 400 horsepower, and a starting price over $82,000.
The Audi Q7 with a turbocharged V6, 335 horsepower, and a starting price of $84,000.
The Lexus TX 350 with a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder, 275 horsepower, and a starting price of $72,000.
So there are 4 luxury 3-row SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
Love the way this handles.
This Type S, I think, is a bit of a deal in the market.
I'd love to see the piano black gone from here.
Turn it down a little bit.
How about just...
And I miss my sat radio. There you go, folks. I get my sports talk, but I don't get my sat radio. So there it is. It's the updated 2025 MDX. What do you think of that?
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.